The next feature we are going to show is production dispensing. When you're working with hazardous, sensitive, or high-value materials, precise dispensing is critical. It helps protect product quality, keeps people safe, prevents contamination, and reduces waste. In many industries, this happens in controlled environments, often clean rooms, where materials are opened, dispensed, and resealed under strict conditions. To support the regulated dispensing process, you can take these actions. Set up thresholds for over-dispensing and under-dispensing. In this way, you help maintain compliance and quality by ensuring that the correct quantities are dispensed. Configure the system to automatically return any remaining undispensed materials to inventory. Restrict the dispensing process to workers who are authorized to perform it. In this way, you ensure that only trained and qualified personnel handle the materials. Require that workers use an electronic signature to sign off on the dispensed quantities. To use dispensing tickets in production, you'll just create a dedicated journal for them. You give it a name, mark it as a dispensing ticket journal, and save it. Once that option is turned on, the system knows this journal is meant specifically for tracking the materials picked during dispensing. Everything else can stay at the default settings. Anyone who needs to dispense materials during production simply needs to have the production dispenser security role assigned. That role is what gives them the permissions to actually perform dispensing in the system. You can also choose to require an electronic signature when users post the dispensing pick journal if that level of control is needed. You can set up a list of measuring devices used during dispensing, usually scales. Each dispensing ticket can have one of these devices assigned, so the system knows exactly which equipment was used. If you want to streamline things, you can even choose a default measuring device in the production control parameters. To turn on production dispensing and decide how it should work in your system, you'll adjust a few settings in the production control parameters. The key step is simply switching on the Enable Dispensing for Production option. Once that's enabled, your production flows can start using dispensing as part of the process. Allow over-dispensing with reverse pick. Set this option to Yes to enable material to be over-dispensed or over-picked, and any remainder to be returned to inventory through an automatically generated pick list. To use the dispensing process, you'll just need to set up the dispensing options on each product that should support it. This tells the system which items can be dispensed and how they should behave. On each released product, you can fine-tune how dispensing should work by adjusting a few key options. Dispensing control. Turn this on if the product should go through the dispensing process. Under-dispense. Set how much less than the suggested quantity a worker is allowed to dispense. This percentage acts as a lower tolerance, and the system will make sure the entered quantity doesn't drop below it. Over-dispense. Set how much more than the suggested quantity is allowed. This becomes the upper tolerance the system checks against. Authorized personnel. Switch this on if only users with the production dispenser security role should be able to dispense the item. When you add a BOM or formula line that uses a product set up for dispensing, the system automatically pulls in that item's under and over dispensing thresholds. If those default tolerances don't fit the specific scenario, you can change them directly on the line. As long as the BOM or formula is an unapproved state, whatever values you enter there are the ones the system will use later when it checks and validates the quantity during the dispensing process. The batch order is released, and in the release dialog, the journal names for picking and dispensing is selected. When the release is confirmed, journals for dispensing and consuming the dispensed material is generated. The journal used to consume the dispensed material is opened from the View tab on the batch order page. In the journal used to consume the dispensed material, a supervisor can adjust the quantity to be consumed, for example, to 100 pounds. This quantity is the amount that will be registered as consumed when the material is transferred to the area where it is dispensed, such as a clean room. Workers manage the dispensing of materials on the dispensing ticket page. This page is opened from the View tab on the batch order. On the dispensing ticket page, the worker creates a line that represents the amount of material weighed for dispensing. In this section, multiple measurements can be entered. When the worker selects post-dispensed, the system calculates the average of the entered measurements and updates the ticket with this value as the dispensed quantity. Finally, the worker posts the dispensing ticket. 3 journals are generated for the materials consumed by the batch order, one for non-dispensed materials, one for the quantity staged to the dispensing area, and one for the residual quantity representing overpicked material that will be returned to inventory. That wraps up production dispensing. With this capability, organizations can precisely control how materials are staged, dispensed, and consumed in highly regulated manufacturing environments. By separating picking, dispensing, and consumption into distinct steps and journals, the process ensures accurate inventory tracking, full traceability, and compliance with regulatory requirements, while still providing flexibility for real-world dispensing scenarios. Try it out with your own dispensing and quality scenarios to see how it helps improve control, reduce manual errors, and maintain compliance without adding unnecessary complexity. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates.